Who had candy last night? I did.
I did.
Nice.
Is that today's language, candy?
Well,
That
I
was
don't
the
know.
baby's language, candy. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay. So, as it occurs to me, sounds like most of you have officially or unofficially started the Halloween. I mean, not the Halloween. Started transitioning into the social gatherings and holiday vibes. Is that right? Okay. All right. Well, that's good. So today's call is going to be about enjoying the holiday season guilt-free and also not compromising the progress that you guys have, ladies and gents watching this live on Facebook, that you have made so far, because I think we can all agree there has been a little bit of work, extra work that you have been putting in with your nutrition, with your workouts, with your recovery. And although you've made progress, this is a season where a lot of people give up on their journey. Right. And it's this, okay, I'm on vacation. I need to slow down type thing. And, holidays, weekends. I have a question for all of you, and I invite you to really reflect. You don't have to answer out loud, but do you think that during a vacation, during weekend or holiday, the body suddenly stops getting older? Probably not, right? When we decide to take a break from eating healthy or exercising and giving the body the things that it needs to thrive, does the body stop breathing all of a sudden and lets us die? No. Okay, when we give up taking care of ourselves, the body is still pushing, the body is still trying to keep us alive. So why would we take a break from taking good care of the body? That's the question. The weekend starts, and then what do? Saturday snack and shots, sweet tooth Sunday, whatever, just making these names up. But where is that mental program coming from? Okay, that's where I want to go here. Like get to here. It's like, okay, the holiday season comes, and so what? Everybody thinks like, oh, I'm gonna eat Twinkies every day and nachos and cheese and drink alcohol instead of water and all that. That's not the mindset that we're practicing here. However, it doesn't mean that we're eating chicken and rice. That's another thing, right? So I'm making this invitation for all of us to transition into the holiday season from a place of gratitude. And from a place of gratitude for this beautiful, miraculous human body that we all have. And this beautiful human body that puts up with all of our crap. Sometimes we do take good care of it. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we neglect its basic needs. Sometimes we give it too much. Yet, the body is forgiven. Highly knows in paragliding, when you start flying with a paraglider designed for school, you can do a lot of crazy stuff and still not break your bones, still not crash, because that paraglider is super forgiving. The same thing with human body. It's extremely forgiving. A side story here, and I hope I don't want to, make anybody feel bad or anything like that, but I was in an elevator with a friend of mine in a mall, and there was this lady, probably, from my estimation, she was probably weighing around 400 something pounds, kind of short. And, she was starting kind of flirting with us, like chatting very playfully. And once she got out the elevator, I look at my friend's face, and he stares at me, and we were both like kind of nodding our heads, and like the first thing that came to my mind was like, wow, this human body is willing to put up with a lot of our shit that we're not willing to deal with. Like looking at that woman's body, holding on to so much body fat, so much inflammation, so much, like imagine if the body would have been frail, that person would have not been alive. Yet it's been like this physical body that we'll have has been taken so much from us. Okay, so that's how I want to start this holiday season, from a place of gratitude. I'm grateful. Thank you. Ho'oponopono. Anne-Marie's familiar with that. Hailey's familiar with that, right? I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And when you do this, I'm sorry, and you take that moment, intimate moment with yourself, and you say to your body, I'm sorry. You can think of the things that you have done to your body that you genuinely authentically feel sorry for. You probably didn't give it enough sleep, didn't give the right foods, didn't give the right attention. Thank you for carrying me through this amazing journey called life and putting up with all my BS and putting up with all my stuff. Thank you for showing me what I'm capable of. For showing me that, it's also about playing. It's also about enjoying life. I love you for being here with me and just showing me the way. Okay. So when you do Ho'oponopono, you take every single, so I'm sorry, thank you, please forgive me. Hailey, can you help me with this? Because I feel like I am always
Yeah, I dropped it in the chat. So I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.
Yeah. So I have a different order. But
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
like
matter the
Hailey's.
order.
I like
And
her
it is
because
good to start with I'm sorry, just to open up the space.
Yeah. So we're starting off this holiday season, and I invite you to do the same thing with gratitude. Gratitude for your body. Okay. And as we do that, can we all commit to one thing? And that thing is practicing some mindfulness and allowing ourselves to be, during this holiday season, to be present with others rather than being there just for the food, just for the seed oils, just for the alcohol, just for the sugars. I'm enjoying these things too, guys. I will have some stuff. We're having a party on the 12th. We had a little party last night. I had some candy. Hailey did have some candy too. But we did practice most of these things that we're going to share with you tonight. But before anything else, I wanted to start with the mindset. I wanted to start with this idea of like, okay, I probably have taken my body for granted for too long. And it's the time to, it's the holiday season where we're supposed to be kind, where we're supposed to love more, be more present. Well, we're being kind and being more present to others, but when is the time to be kind and more present to our body? So it comes down to self-love. And I got 4 questions to start off this training for you. And you can write them down if you want. You can rewatch the recording. The first question, and I always start these planning calls with this first question: what is my goal? And now I invite you to reflect on what is my goal by January 1st, 2023. I have 2 months, 60 days. On a fat loss journey, you can lose anywhere between 1.5 on a slow side to 2.5 pounds of body fat per week, if you're focused on numbers and metrics. But what I invite you to do instead is, okay, you know your goals, you know what it takes for you to get there. What I invite you to focus on is goal-wise is, what is it? Like, what are the things that I'm going to do? What are the habits that I'm going to focus on during this time in order for me to make the progress? Instead of focusing on the number, I'm focusing on the action that it takes me to accomplish the number. Because we all like get these goals very like twisted in our minds, like, oh, I want to get shredded, I want to see abs, and then okay, that's the goal, and then I'm gonna go to the gym. Okay, well, what does your nutrition look like? What, how much do you sleep? How much do you drink? How much do you hydrate, and so on? So first thing, what is my goal by January 1st, 2023? Everybody got that down? Okay. The second one, and this is a very, very important one, and I really want you to be honest with yourself. Do I authentically believe that I can do it? Do I authentically believe or genuinely believe that I can do it? That's the second question. And my hope for you, with the support that you're getting, is you would say yes. If for however reason, and that's nothing wrong with it, you feel a little bit of hesitation, let's have a conversation about it. Because the same way you're sitting here on this live training, we've had other students sitting here on this live training, and some didn't believe they were capable of accomplishing their goals, yet they have made it. Students before them were dealing with the same things, yet they made it. You might be thinking the same thing. But once you see Anne-Marie making it, once you see Bonnie making it, once you see Tate making it, once you see Mike, well, ask yourself, okay, what are these guys? Why are these guys so different than I am? You're just focusing on the things that we help them focus on, like nutrition, sleep, recovery, self-love. Okay, so do I authentically believe I can do it? That's the second question. The third question is, do I authentically believe that I deserve to get there? Do I genuinely or authentically believe that I deserve to get there, to accomplish this goal? And our goal is to answer these questions, especially the last two ones, with yes, without thinking, without analyzing, without allowing the monkey voice, the monkey mind to chatter. Can I do it? Can I not? Have I done it? And what we've seen is with entrepreneurs, especially where people who consider themselves high performers, high achievers, they associate results with what? With sacrifice, with hard work, with punishment, with pain, when in reality, sustained, predictable progress happens when we create this progress from a place of relaxation, from a place of fun, from a place of pleasure. You can't sustain long-term success if you associate that with pain. Nobody can do that. So do I authentically believe I deserve that? And what we see is like these people who are high performers doing really hard work in their health and in their business and their careers, they take the same concept when it comes to health and fitness, but because they don't even feel that they have arrived in their businesses. And I've talked to multi-8-figure entrepreneurs, tens of millions of dollars in revenue per year, and they still feel like they haven't made it. I haven't talked to billionaires yet, but like these guys, like someone who's making $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year might think they made it. Well, these guys who make 20, 30 million dollars a year, they don't think they have made it. They still have the same problem because they saw their dad growing up struggling to provide for their family. They saw their mom struggling and letting her health go while trying to provide for the family. And they associated success, making money, having a family with pain. I have to suffer. And I grew up like that too. I saw my dad struggling. I saw my mom struggling, right? And then I was wired in such a way that really didn't allow me to have any pleasure during this growth, these phases of growth. And looking back to where I started, I'm extremely grateful for where I'm at today. Do I feel like I have arrived? No. But do I believe that I deserve to build the body that I want? Yes, absolutely. There's no doubt. Because the body doesn't care if I'm ready mentally to do the work. The time digs in anyway. We're getting rusty and old anyway. So I would not associate success, business with health and fitness. They're two different things. Oh, when I'm going to make $100,000 or $1 million or $10 million, I'm finally going to take time to take care of my body. That's a very dysfunctional mentality. I will take care of my body regardless of how much money I'm making, regardless of how many sales I'm making, regardless of how much success I have at work, because this is what provides at work. This is what provides in the business. And if this is broken, it becomes a liability. I'm not an asset in my business anymore, then I'm losing it. Everything is going to collapse. So that's where I challenge these high-performing individuals to take a step back. And instead of thinking that, okay, when I arrive in business, I'll take care of my health. When I arrive in business, I'll take care of my body. Focus on your biggest asset that actually allowed you to create the business that you have or get the job that you have. It's not the other way around. It's because you had a body and you had a face and you're able to communicate and you were able to move. You got a job or you built a business. So take care of that thing, however you want to call it, a tool, an asset, your own beloved body. Take care of it. Okay, so do I authentically believe I deserve to get there? Absolutely. Now, the next one is, am I willing to do whatever it takes to get there? Well, I assume if you're clear on the first three questions, this is a no-brainer. Because obviously it's gonna be highs and lows, ups and downs, and challenges. And so what? I'm willing to deal with these challenges. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to make mistakes, Anne-Marie. Yeah, like that's how you grow. By giving yourself permission to making these mistakes. By giving yourself permission, because this is another thing that I wanted to share with you guys. So Anne-Marie, for example, was kind of, can I share this, Anne-Marie? Are you cool with me? Okay. So with the recipes, like she started adding more variety in her nutrition. And obviously she's been tracking everything to a T. Like every conversation I would have with her, she would tell me meal after meal with quantities, like serving sizes, everything on point. I was like blown away. Like, oh, wow. When are you going to give yourself a little bit of permission to have some flexibility? And she built this fear around, okay, well, I'm not going to go off these macros. Very dialed in. Hence, she lost a lot of weight and she's still making progress. But the point I'm trying to make here is once she gave herself permission to make some mistakes, like try some different recipes and mismeasure and mistrack a couple of things, from 177 where we were stuck, 176, I open up the app and I see 173. I'm like, oh, what happened here? Right? So, okay, she did a little extra cardio and all that, but we see more variety coming up. So by making these mistakes, and this is a simulated place where you guys can make these mistakes. It's not like you're going to war, and once you make the mistake, you're dying. No, it's just a simulated place where you make these mistakes because it's simulated because you have us ask for feedback. Hey, coach, I'm screwing this thing up, or at least I think I'm doing that. What's your opinion on this? You know, and I've done this with my coach. Hailey has done this with her coach. We do this all the time. These simulated environments give you the opportunity to grow faster than other people grow in years, in a couple of months or a couple of weeks, because you make these mistakes 1 time or 2 times. That's pretty much it, because you get to learn faster. A lot of people don't even know, like they make the mistake and they don't get the feedback. They don't even know, okay, I screwed it up. I don't know. I can't lose weight. It's impossible. It's so hard to lose weight. Like, no, it's not. It's actually the easiest thing. But you just have to be aware of what you're putting in your body. That's all. And that's why you have us here. You can ask for feedback. So, am I willing to do whatever it takes to get there? Now, the last question is, am I crystal clear where I'm at on the roadmap of my transformation? Am I crystal clear where I'm at on the road? Actually, let me drop these in the chat. If you guys have them, and copy and paste them. And if you're unclear on this last question, on your answer, please do let me know, because we can dive into that together, and we can do it today on this call. Because when I'm asking about, am I crystal clear where I'm at on the roadmap of my transformation, is, do I know where am I headed? Do I know what's going to happen once I get to my first level of my transformation? Do I know what's going to happen once I move on to the next level of my transformation? Am I aware of those things? Because that gives you the confidence that you're headed somewhere. A lot of times we have people like, oh, I'm trying to lose weight. Okay. And then this trying to lose weight, you associate with what? With calorie depletion and a lot of movement. It's obvious, like that's what it takes. There's no denial, like I can't say otherwise. But okay, do you know that the faster you focus on this fat loss journey, the easier it's going to be for you to come out of it and do the metabolic restoration and then start building slowly without gaining as much body fat? Do you know that the shorter you take with the fat loss journey, the more fun you will experience? Or the longer you take with the fat loss journey, the more fatigue eventually you will get to experience. I'm not saying it's impossible. We can take breaks and up the calories a little bit and then go back, so you can take a little break. But you know, like you got to be clear on this roadmap. Am I clear? Okay, I need to lose another 30 pounds. Like a lot of people feel like they have a lot. We had this conversation with Janelle earlier. She joined the elite level program and we had the onboarding, and she was like, she I don't know, we talked about, I think, fat loss, the same thing. And there are a lot of people who think that they have a lot of muscle mass. They think they have a lot of muscle mass and they don't need to lose a lot of weight and they want to bulk. And when we look at their body, there's no definition. There's all fat tissue. And when we do a strength test, there's no strength. So, you know, with that mindset, it's going to be hard for you to let go of the idea that, okay, I need to lose another 30 pounds because I have a lot of muscle and I don't want to lose muscle, but there's zero definition. So if you're on a fat loss journey, you first need to lose the body fat to the point where you're happy with the level of definition that you have. And then you slowly build back up to the point where you start eating your normal caloric intake that was prior. You started losing weight, or it's going to be a little higher in some cases because you guys do strength training, therefore you're putting more muscle. And then your energy goes up, you're building more muscle without putting all that body fat back. So you have to be clear on where you're at on this journey. So is everybody clear on that? Just give me a thumbs up if you're clear on where you're at on your transformation, on the roadmap of your transformation. Okay. Leanne, Steph. Okay. Steph, are you there?
Yeah, I'm just at the gym.
Oh, it's all good. So are you
working out while listening?
Okay. You're good.
What was the question? Sorry, I missed it.
If you're clear on where you're
yeah.
standing on your roadmap, on the transformation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then the next thing is, after you answer all these questions, then we need to get to work. Okay, we're having the beautiful holiday season, which I'm super excited for. After I answer these questions, assuming that you know exactly what your goal is by January 1st, 2023, assuming that you authentically believe that you can actually accomplish those goals, assuming that you authentically believe that you deserve to accomplish those goals, and assuming that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get there, and assuming that you're crystal clear of where you're at on your transformation, then the next things are extremely easy. Okay, the mindset is first. And the next is easy. So the second step here is, I want you to, if you're watching this live on Facebook, do this exercise with us. If you're watching this on replay, very important to start doing this earlier, better earlier than later, because the holiday season is barely getting started. So grab a sheet of paper or open a new Word document or whatever, and let's take some notes. Put on your calendar or list off all the social gatherings, all the parties, all the activities, social activities that you have been invited to, or you're planning to put together to invite people to, that involve drinking, sugar, food that's not normally on your diet, seed oils, whatever. Just list them on a piece of paper. Okay, we're having a party on the 12th, Friendsgiving. We're gonna have a party on the Thanksgiving. So that's gonna be, let me see. So we have 12, okay, and then we're gonna have on the 24th. We have 2 Thanksgiving dinners coming up. We have December 25th. It's gonna be a Christmas dinner, and then we're gonna have January and 31st and 1st is gonna be a feast. I know that. I have them on my calendar. I know where I'm going. I know the people that I'm hanging out with. Everything is on point. I mean, most people there are going to be new people there too that we're going to. But once you're clear on your list of your events, okay, whether you host these events or you're invited to them, put them on your calendar. We want to see them on your calendar, and you can highlight it full red. It's gonna be a feast day, whatever. Just acknowledge it. Just choose to do that. Give yourself permission. You're working hard. Yes, you can have a little bit of fun too. It's not, or you can actually have a lot of fun as well. Third step, I want you to answer this question for every single party. So you have the list, you put the list on your calendar. And then the next question that I want you to ask yourself is, what am I excited about this particular party, this particular event? What am I excited about? For example, personally, I'm excited about catching up with some of my best friends and spending quality time together. And when I say quality time, we also talk about enjoying good food. Yes, I have my friend Dallas cooking some good food. I have my friend Will cooking some bison meatballs, and like Heidi's cooking some good stuff as well. She makes these cheesecakes, and there's stuff that I enjoy. But most importantly, what am I excited about? What am I excited about? I'm excited about hanging out with people, spending quality time, being there for others. Okay. Some people are just excited for the food, which is okay. For the food alone, I'm not sure if you just go there just for the food, but if that's you, I would do some work on that, because if that's the mindset, and I used to be that, especially after my show, after my competition, my mind was all about eating something different. And I realized that I was doing myself so much harm to the point where I couldn't stand myself, and I started reanalyzing what I expected from life. So if that's you, long term, you'll have trouble getting the results that you want. Okay, so we need to talk about it. We need to rewire that thing. I hope it's not the case here. You guys allow yourself to have variety, at least a little bit every week, so you don't feel like you're going crazy. Is anybody that feels like that, feels like, okay, I'm completely depriving myself and I'm in a freak out mode?
So I did feel that way. I think that's why I'm like, hey, I don't care. I'm going to the store and getting cheesecake. This is what I want. And honestly, after I let myself have it, because I was being so strict, my mindset shifted and I was like, okay, like I ate it. I didn't die. I'm still alive, And I honestly think that I had to do that for myself, because I was being so strict and so on point that it was honestly a mental shift for me.
Yeah. Well, Anne-Marie, thank you for sharing that. Are you open to some feedback there? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we can both agree that once you were given those numbers, you were very fixated on those. There's no other way, but I'm hitting those numbers. When we first started working together, you had this experience with personal trainers, and they had you go through this crazy routine regimen that involved a lot of pain and a lot of struggle and a lot of sacrifice, and you associated progress with that. I want you guys to listen up to this, because this is a very important point. We did the work on that, and you let go of the idea that in order to be successful in order to make progress, and make progress pain-free, not enduring as much pain and struggle, it's possible. Okay, and then that, I think, got carried over in the nutrition part a little bit. Oh, these numbers, I need to be strict, I need to be perfect, blah, blah, blah. And, I kind of nudged you a little bit. Hey, a refeed day a little bit, give yourself a little permission there. And remember in the beginning, you were taking your scale at a party, food scale, and you were making yourself wrong for not measuring and tracking everything. And then when we started slowing down on that, you started going to parties and kind of enjoying and having some variety without so that's the thing right there. It's what I want you guys to focus on is not thinking that in order to make progress, especially long term, you need to be so psychic about these numbers, because number one, tracking food is not going to be accurate 100%. Nobody can track food accurately. I haven't done it in my life. I talked to my coach about this, who's coaching a lot of pro bodybuilders. There's no freaking way. You will, like, even steak, like for example, 99% steak. We had this conversation with steak is not going to be at that level of leanness. We always have a margin of error. Okay, so it's just impossible. So stay close to those numbers. Create staple meals. That's the importance of creating these staple meals, because then if you know, okay, I've done this for a week, then instead of eating 2 whole eggs in the morning, I take 1 whole egg out and I take 5 grams of fat, which is 5 multiplied by 9, right? You multiply that and it gets you the calories. So you take those calories out, and then you stay consistent. The same meals, the same staple meals, but it's that egg yolk taken out. Or instead of using 10 grams of butter, this is what I've been doing with my breakfast. Instead of using 10 grams of butter to make my egg scramble, I'm doing 5 grams of butter. And that, day in and day out, it's going to make a huge difference. But see how little of an adjustment it is that can lead to progress? Versus I'm eating Chick-fil-A today, I'm eating a pizza tomorrow, I'm eating 3 donuts the day after, and then everything is so scattered and all over the place, and there's zero control and you don't know where to. It's just a lot of guesswork. That's why the importance of staple meals can be replaced, especially in the beginning. As you get more advanced, yes, you can change things up, but in the beginning, you need to master that. And I've been doing this for almost 10 years, and I still don't feel like I'm 100% dialed in. I'm still like, I'm getting a slap on my face by my coach, and he reminds me, hey, watch out, because you're not there yet. So it does take a lot of time. It does take a lot of practice. After my show, I opened up my eyes a lot, because I thought it was all about macros, and it does help to a degree. But when you really want to get granular, when you really want to get shredded, it's way like it's staples. It's like, okay, macros, but staples. And then you slowly adjust things in your staples. So going back to the topic, the strategy. You're clear. Why are you excited about those coming up parties? Okay, write that down for every single party on your calendar. What am I excited about this? I'm going to see my friend coming from this, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And the 4th step is the strategy. And this is easy, right? We've talked about, we have an entire module on it. But the first thing that comes to the strategy is movement. It's Christmas Day. Let's say Christmas Day, let me pull up my calendar, is on the 25th. Well, the gym that we're going to put an announcement in their window, and they said it's the 25th, that's a Friday. I'm working out on Friday. I'm gonna go to the gym. They say they close at 1. I'm gonna be at the gym at, I don't know, 8 a.m. I'm getting my workout done by 10. With cardio, with everything. So I'm doing the same things. I'm sticking to my routines, because like I said at the beginning of the training, your body doesn't care if it's a holiday. Your body still gets older and, like decays, unfortunately. We all get there. But we want to do the best we can to take good care of it. So you do your workouts as you would normally do them. If the party is happening earlier in the day and you make the choice to have a feast, move that workout after you ate. Why? Because all that sugar, all that craziness, it's in your bloodstream. It's not stored as body fat yet. Once you put those muscles to use, chances are you're not going to store as much body fat, but you got to lift heavy. You got to do a full workout. You got to move that body. You might not have the same energy, because last night I put a couple of candies in my system and I was just crashed. Like I couldn't focus. I was just barely driving. I'm like, what the hell is going on with me? I gave up caffeine after my show. Since my show, I don't do any energy drinks. Carbs very low on the days that I don't work out. I only veggies and maybe a little bit of fruit, but veggies and protein, meat, lean meats. And it's like, it just hit me, that surge of sugar, like boom. So do your workouts if you can after. If not, just do your cardio, do your regular workout. Before you get to the party, this is another it's another important point. Set the clear intention around this one thing. Am I going to have alcohol or not? Because if you're planning, why is this important? If you're planning to have alcohol and you're not considering this very small yet extremely important detail, the rest of the strategy will not be effective. Okay, if you're following this entire strategy and you're planning to eat alcohol, I mean, so sort of eating because it has calories. So if you're planning to drink alcohol, but you're not following this thing that I'm going to walk you through, this whole strategy is not going to be as effective. Okay, so the reason why is because the alcohol gets metabolized extremely slow. Once you put alcohol in your body, if you drink, it's going to take forever. It takes hours. Sometimes it takes up to 10, 15, 20 hours to metabolize alcohol. And what does that have to do with eating? Well, when you drink alcohol and your metabolism slows down, your body focuses on solely metabolizing that alcohol, then the food gets postponed and the food gets stored as body fat. So at parties, one thing that I do, and people kind of give me an eye and look weird at me, is if I plan to drink alcohol, I drink after I eat. At least 40 minutes. Sometimes I give it an hour and a half. Okay, so I eat my food, I allow time for digestion, and then I drink alcohol. At least I'm gaining this much of body fat versus this much body fat. Okay, because when I splurge, it's a party, there's no meal prep food. I go to that party and I drink, and then everything that I eat pretty much gets metabolized as body fat. Okay. Now, when it comes to type of drinks, the simpler drinks are, the better. The more mixed and complicated and the sweeter they are, combined with alcohol, the more fat gets stored. Okay, why? Well, you have two things. You have alcohol and you have sugar. When you have only alcohol and a very, very small amount of sugar, you can get away with it. But when you're combining both, there's no other way but getting fatty liver disease and just storing a lot of fat. And that's comes off after when you start working out and getting back on track with your nutrition. So it's not the end of the day, but you don't want to compound damage party after party, because that's going to get you to the point where, okay, I started at 200 pounds, I lost 20 pounds, and then I'm back at 200 pounds by January 1st, 2023. And it's going to take away all the motivation, all the excitement for you, because all that work has been screwed in a couple of parties. Okay. So keep drinks super simple. What do I mean by that? Wine, not the sweetest wine that works. Spirits, but clear, like whiskey, stuff like that. I'm not very savvy in these names, but try to stay away from cocktails with like a lot of sugar, a lot of flavors, a lot of alcohol. That's what worsens the whole, it slows down the whole process. After you have alcohol, avoid eating. So that's why I push my alcohol towards the end of the day, because I don't want to eat right after. Once again, I had alcohol. My system is busy for the rest of the night. Any questions so far before we move to the next step? Okay. Party music. Okay. At the party, when it comes to eating, the first thing that we want to do is eat lean protein first. Eat lean protein first. Why is that? It has a ameliorating effect on postprandial glycemia, which is basically the elevation of blood sugar after eating a meal. Okay, so when you eat lean protein, you don't get the spike in blood sugar and then the crash. Because when you get the spike and you eat more, like you eat an appetizer or you have an alcoholic drink and you put more carbs, appetizer, snacks, chips, whatever in, then everything is fat from there. But when you eat the protein, the blood sugar slightly drops. Metabolism slows down a little bit. You put the carbs, it bounces up a little bit, but you can digest that food. You can metabolize and store as much of that food in your muscle mass before it gets stored as fat. Because at some point, if we're eating too many calories, and there's a threshold, your body can only store so much of glycogen, and then it gets stored as fat. So lean protein first to decrease postprandial glycemia. Now, sometimes there are parties that you don't, I mean, this is pretty often, especially here in Utah, where a lot of people don't have the concept of protein. I feel like we're going to parties and there's no freaking protein anywhere. People think that beans are protein, or people think that, I don't know, it's just crazy, right? I think you guys can relate to this, but you go to a party and like, dude, do you have some protein? And there's zero. There's like literally no protein, right? So when that happens, and I always carry this with me, I have an isolate shake right before I have an appetizer, like right before I go to a party that I don't trust. Like if I go to my friend Dallas's party, I know that he makes some ribeye, I know he makes some steak, I know he makes protein. If not, if I go to a random party and I can't ask, okay, what do you guys have? I either bring my own food, like Hailey does all the time. She brings her own protein, or I'm having an isolate protein shake before with water, no milk, nothing. With water, I isolate protein powder, and it does the same thing. It saves the day. Okay. Any questions here?
Well, how many grams of protein do you put? Like
25
grams?
to 30 grams of protein, not powder. Yeah. So, and then we're going to the next step. What do we do? Okay, it's the party day is today. It's 8 a.m. At 8 a.m. I just woke up. What do I do first? Well, if I am looking at my schedule, if my schedule allows me to, I'm going to go get some fasted cardio in. Good for fat loss. I'm going to eat. When I eat, what am I going to eat? Am I going to eat my full meal with oats and protein? And no, I'm going to make myself a lean scramble with some veggies, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, I'm going to feel a little hungrier probably, but guess what? I'm burning fat because I'm keeping my blood sugar low throughout the day. I don't need carbs. I'm going to fill up my body with carbs at that party. Okay, so I'm keeping my fats low as well. I probably have 1 or 2 egg yolks, which is 10 grams with 2 egg yolks, about 10 grams of fat. Because I know a party within a meal, I can get 60, 70, 100 grams of fat. Easy, right? So keep my fats low, keep my carbs low throughout the day. Veggies, lean protein. That's pretty much it when I'm hungry. The next thing is, do I allow myself to get hungry at the party, to get to the party hungry? No, because I'm gonna be the Tasmanian devil there. I'm gonna eat everything and everybody. I don't want to do that. So I'm having the last lean protein serving and my veggies right before, or I have my shake. And when I have my shake or my protein, I give it at least 20, 30 minutes to start digesting, to start my hunger hormone to signal to the brain, hey, you put some food in the body, you're satiated a little bit. So when I get to the party, I'm not taking over the food corner. I allow other people to have some food as well. Okay. That's another thing. Now, what do I do after I have my splurge? Well, I get steps in. That's important. That right there, it's important. Doesn't matter how late you stay up. Ideally is to get 10, 15 minute of walking in. The same thing, it reduces your postprandial glycemia, reduces your blood sugar, all that stuff that had been ingested gets partially, a big part of it, stored as glycogen in the muscle rather than being stored as body fat. When you go to bed, I ate, stuffed my face, and then I go sleep. Your body's already getting ready for night, for sleep, for recovery. You can't digest while you're sleeping. Hence, that's why a lot of people who eat right before they go to bed store a lot of body fat, because the body cannot do the two things at once. You either stay awake the whole night and you kind of like get a crappy quality of sleep and you wake up super fatigued, and yes, you probably digested a little bit of that food, or you just, I mean, that's the only thing that's going to happen. And I mean, the second scenario is like you might fall asleep, but all that gets stored as fat. You step on the scale and it's just, or you look in the mirror and look all puffy. It's not all of it fat. Big part of it is going to be water retention. Big part of it is going to be bowel movement, but it adds up over time. So getting steps in, 10 to 15 minute walks after helps. Now I got a couple of extra tips here. Apple cider vinegar. You know, everybody, that in combination with cinnamon can reduce your blood sugar. If you have a little bit after it, 1 or 2 tablespoons in combination with a dash of cinnamon and a little bit of lemon juice as well, can reduce postprandial glycemia. Does it mean that's going to get you ripped by tomorrow morning? No. By next day in the morning? No. It just means that you're kind of mitigating a little bit you're mitigating the damage that you're taking. Okay, so all these splurges, all these like holiday parties come with a cost. But the reason for this training is to look at it from a place of I'm in ownership, I'm in full control of what's going to happen. I take full responsibility of what's going to happen, and I'm okay with what is going to happen. And from that, I'm going to apply, from that place, I'm going to apply everything that I'm learning here, and then I'm getting back on track. Now, very important, the second day. This is like really, really key here. If the second day is another party, you're screwed. There's no, you're screwed. But assuming that the next day is not going to be another party, what do I do? What did I do today? What did I do today? So last night we went to Heidi's grandma. We've had some candy. We had some stuff there. And then today I kept my carbs low. I only ate vegetables, and I did eat my like close to 50 grams of fat per day from egg yolks, from Brazil nuts, and from a little bit of steak. So I did have that, and I did have my protein, but carbs had stayed low because I got loaded last night with candy. Okay. And another thing that I did today, 1 hour of fasted cardio. I fasted for 14 hours. When you move your body, and last night you put stuff in it that's not according to your goals, and you move your body in the morning and you fast, and your body will start slowly, you're depleting glycogen, and then your body starts burning fat. You're utilizing source, you're utilizing energy from fats stored in the body. So that's what I did. Tomorrow to the gym, back on track. Okay. And another thing, lastly, I want you guys to, like, when you have a splurge like that and you choose to, because everybody chooses to, you don't get kidnapped and tied, and your hands and arms are tied and you put a scarf around your eyes and stuff like that. And oh, party time. Now we're going to stuff you with cookies. Nobody does that, right? Like we're making a choice. When you're making that choice, my invitation to you is, and this is what I do with myself too, is step on the scale the next day, and not from a place of like, oh, I sucked, I screwed it up. No, where am I at? Okay, cool. Because a lot of it is not going to be body fat. A lot of it is going to be fat, water retention. A lot of it is going to be, again, stuff stuck in your intestines and stuff like that. But I want you to, okay, this is where I'm at today. Step on it tomorrow. Applying these things and just, okay, be aware. A lot of times people, what do? They screw it up once, twice, turn your head 180 degrees. Don't want to see the scale anymore. Don't want to see the my fitness pal anymore. Don't want to see the food scale anymore. And it's a downward spiral from there, which sooner or later we will all face it. You can't run away from it forever. Sooner or later, it's going to be the time to, okay, I need to take care of this. So that's why, like, okay, I had my birthday party and I allowed myself to splurge. Totally fine. Step on a scale next time, even take progress pictures. If it's the time to take progress pictures for you, look at them. Don't judge yourself. Apply the things that you've learned. Get back on track. It's not the end of the world, but I want you to practice ownership, be completely in and fully responsible for your actions. Number two, give yourself permission to have fun. Give yourself permission to have fun. You guys all working hard in your business, in your careers, in your health and fitness journey. That's awesome. Give yourself a little bit of time to enjoy. Okay, give yourself a little bit of time to enjoy, but by being mindful, by planning out things, by being present, taking full ownership, by stepping on the scale and not making yourself wrong, guess what? You'll create from a place of self-love. You'll create from a place of, okay, this is where I'm going versus, oh, I'm so stuck in the past. I screwed up. I feel bad. I'm the terrible person. I suck. I can't do this. I'm too fat. I'm too ugly. I'm too, like, why? Why? Let's focus on the future, guys. Ladies and gents, thank you for being here. Any questions? Okay, so the party game plan. Eat super lean before, do full workout before party, drink a protein shake. So you either drink a protein shake or eat a lean protein right before the party. If you're at the party and if they have lean protein, eat that first before you put any appetizer in your body. Bring on lean protein to the party. Yes, yeah, highly does that. That's pretty cool. Sometimes I don't. I'm honest with you. Eat lean drink tons of water and finish eating before drinking. Yeah, you can go as low as 40 minutes. It depends how much you're eating, Leah. If you're not feeling stuffed, then 40 minutes should be fine. An hour. Drink straight shots only. I love that. Drink straight shots only. Yes. Come home from party and do some walking. Yes. Okay. Love it. I love the takeaways. Anything else? Any other questions or takeaways?
So mine's not really, well, I have a few takeaways, but I have a girls' night that I'm celebrating with my best friend this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, so, we're going to eat all this junk food that you don't need and we're just going to go all out.
Oh.
And I was like, okay. So what I'll do is I've already planned it out. I'm going to eat lean protein in the morning. And I don't know if I'm gonna, with my workout, I haven't done my workouts yet because I'm waiting towards the end of the week because of this big splurge. So I'm having my workout on Saturday the next day
Uh-huh.
as well. And then doing some walking or whatever after dinner, but it's kind of hard on a girls' night out. Like you stay up late, like I'm not gonna go walk at 3 a.m. in the morning, right?
Yeah,
I
no,
might get kidnapped or something. But the next day, I think I'm gonna get up and I'll go for a walk.
Mhm.
Like, and I realized that because like yesterday I ate candy, and I'll be honest, I felt like I was like nauseous. I was like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
making me sick.
yeah,
That's making me sick. And I told Kyle, I'm gonna go walk on the treadmill until I don't want to throw up. And so I was there for an hour and a half, and I was like, okay, I think I can go to bed. But then today, yeah, I fasted till 2 o'clock because I was like,
nice.
I'm sick, and I just I have my goals, and I stayed at 173. I was really
Mhm.
proud of myself. So
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, Anne-Marie, I would increase the volume a little bit, honestly, with the workouts. Like if you, for example, if you plan 3 workouts for this week, I would probably do 4. If you know that's going to be full out and you're not going to be able to get some steps in after, obviously it's going to be too late. So I would do 4 workouts. And other than that, just, like if you follow these steps, you should be fine. I like the idea of fasting a lot. I do like that, and actually getting steps in and moving your body in a fasted state, because your body starts depleting and eventually will tap into the fat stores. Now, what happens if you don't fast? It's gonna, like, you keep adding, right? You keep adding, your blood sugar is elevated, your glycogen storages are full, and you keep adding, and you keep storing body fat. So you need that break. That break is really, it's necessary there. Once you take it, then okay, your body learns again, oh, I have to utilize fat for fuel because this guy is not giving me, or this girl is not giving me more carbs to munch on, to utilize for fuel. So when you take that break, your body gets rewired again. Okay, let's tap into the fat. Here we go. But yeah, a lot of times people make the mistake to early in the morning, because you get some cravings, you get some crashes, you get something is happening, and you start feeling hungry. Like this morning, I felt like I was starving, but I overcame that because I knew, okay, the body is trying to play tricks on me right now, because I have these surges of sugar happening. And so I consciously chose to not have anything to eat until I think it was 11 a.m. today. So, and it's important to rely on fasting during these times. Okay, anything else before we hop off here? If not, I hope you, Leah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say thanks.
You're very welcome. I hope you ladies have an amazing holiday season. Enjoy Guilt-Fre. Get back to work and take full ownership and responsibility over your health.
Awesome. Have a good one.
You too. Take care.
Thank
Good night.
you.
thank you.